Hi, my name is James Mello. I'm a sound designer, and this is my game audio implementation demo reel for Wwise.
So far, so good. They know you're here, so try out that full auto.
For this demo, I designed all the sound and interactive music for the open-source first-person shooter game Q. During this process, I constantly kept in mind the vision and overall vibe of the map, which was dark, labyrinth-like, and often had the sense of impending doom. To start, I used the profiler in Wwise to capture a log file of all the sounds triggered in-game from the beginning of the map to the very end. From this file, I made an asset list spreadsheet of every sound that needed to be created, music included. A great natural resource for sound design proved to be my friendly local garbage truck slamming down large dumpsters in the back of my apartment. This would be a gold mine for gunshots and explosions. For the machine gun, I layered just the initial attack of a dumpster slam, and also a textbook being thrown on a linoleum floor. This would be the body of the gunshot. I combined these with the banging of wrenches and kettlebells to add a hint of metallic-sounding mechanics to the rapid-fire gunshot. All layers played together, the machine gun sounds like this. The monsters also have their own arsenal of weapons. The ogre, for instance, has a big fireball it shoots. For this sound, I wanted the player to feel like a giant bonfire is being hurled at them. I took a stock recording of a raging bonfire, EQ'd and looped the loudest part of the bonfire to make it sound more menacing, and Wwise, I applied object attenuation and 3D spatialization via the listener relative routing section. As fireballs get hurled around the player, they are heard from the left, right, and front and behind. The closer they are, the louder they are. If the fireball is further away, it is lower in volume, with a low-pass filter attenuating more as the distance becomes greater. Here it is all in action. In Q, there are 6 different enemy monsters the player encounters. A lot of the monster sounds were created layering different stock recordings of animals such as howler monkeys, crocodiles, and lions, but I also used some other non-wild animal recordings. There's a monster called the Slith. It's tall, lurks with big strides, and is almost reptilian-like. I wanted sounds to reflect how it looked and moved. For the Slith growl, I layered the draining sound of a restaurant dishwasher, a lion, a crocodile hissing, and 2 crocodile exhales pitched differently. Altogether, it sounds like this. I enlisted some of Seattle's finest voiceover talent for the player pain sounds and monster intercom alerts.
Overflow basin access open.
To make this combat first-person shooter feel more immersive, a new fictional character was created named Colonel Rickson, played by yours truly, me.
Careful, there are more where that little guy came from.
Colonel Rickson communicates via satellite and is critical in calling out items of value as well as providing important focus on mission objectives.
Rocket launcher ammo 12 o'clock. You don't find that every day.
To bring Colonel Rickson to life, I recorded my voiceovers into Ableton Live and put a CB radio effect on the vocals with added CB radio static during his live transmissions.
Look for red switches to gain access to sectors. Head on a swivel. I'm sure you'll have company.
To execute this in-game, I had to edit the map CFG file and add my own command lines in the game's code. Each command line in the code is assigned its very own specific trigger number, which refers to a specific event call in Wwise that plays the sound object which contains the Colonel Rickson voiceover. Colonel Rickson chiming in made the game feel more goal-oriented, like an actual mission with purpose and objectives. While editing the CFG file, I added more trigger command lines for sound emitters which added distance-sensitive sound cues for items of importance on the map. As you approach and get closer to the item, it emits a sound that gets louder in volume via object attenuation. This alludes that it is significant and of great value. Some emitters had percussion loops, which were performed and recorded at the same BPM of the game's music. Each item also had percussive musical stingers as they were picked up in-game. Each stinger was triggered on beat and in tempo of the game's music, and also had an event stop action to stop the existing emitter sound from playing. In order to get the emitters and stingers to start on beat and all function in time with the music, they had to be added as game sync triggers in the music's main switch group stingers tab. All game sync triggers were assigned to play at next beat. More custom emitters were also created to add more ambience to the environment, such as computer and water sounds. Player underwater states were also applied, in which the low-pass filter attenuated all monster, player, and ambient sounds. In order to place the triggers and emitters around the game's map, I went to the map's edit function and added triggers to the edit command new ent trigger followed by the appropriate trigger number. I'm James Mello. Thank you for watching my sound design demo reel for Wwise.